Today we get a Cathay mirror match. Everybody, yay, woo, that's incredible, that's amazing. Well, alright, I wouldn't cast it if I didn't think it was interesting, so hang in there. One side we have the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, on the other side we have the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. Alright, this sucks, everybody get out. More seriously, Zhao Ming, 2 Jade Lancers, the Righteous Lances, and a front line of Jade Warriors and Jade Halberds. 4 Crane Gunners versus Dragon-Blooded Shugi Lord of Yang with only Dragon's Breath. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, 2 Jade Lancers, double cannon, triple cannon, some Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, then a front line of Peasant Long Spearmen and Jade Warriors, back line of Jade Warrior Halberds. So roughly the same infantry strategy, and cavalry. Yeah, their cavalry is exactly the same, but their ranged carries are different. 4 Crane Gunners versus 3 crossbows, 3 cannons, and then their lord, one is a powerful combatant caster lord, the other one is just a caster lord. Can Zhao Ming carry his weight? He's gonna have to, because the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are currently getting messed up. They're already almost dead. That's a 1500 gold unit that has maybe about 300 value left in it. But the crucial part of the game is over for the mid-range comp. The Crane Gunners are in range of the cannons, and the cannons are going to suffer horrifically. Cannons can do okay against Crane Gunners at a distance. You can see they do have decent trades, but as soon as you're actually in range, the damage profile is just wildly different. Final transcast onto the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin and the Dragon-Blooded Shugenin Lord. It is not overcasted. Still doing an awful lot of damage for those guys, and both sides took an elite ROR in the air, and both sides got messed up. Now it is up to the Crane Gunners to start teeing off onto them, so both sides' range assets really taking out the ROR. But now this has allowed the cannons to free fire onto the Crane Gunners, so I think maybe just focusing instead on finishing what you started with the cannons would be smarter, because currently they're all still at max firing capacity, so that damage we put into them is not helping. Zhao Ming is up in the sky. He started casting his own Dragon Breaths on the Jade Warriors, but it doesn't have incredible armor piercing, especially after... Did it get nerfed? I think it got nerfed. Or if it didn't get nerfed, then that, like, infinite mana stuff got nerfed. But either way, it never was very good against high armor troops, so Jade Warriors are going to be just fine. Meanwhile, some of these Jade Lancers have walked into range of the crossbows, and they're currently taking some free damage over there. It looks like the green player is distracted, chasing around the Dragon-Blooded Shugi Lord of Yin, and not noticing that these guys are just getting shot in the butt for free. Crane Gunners are now starting to get what you wanted out of them. 1 cannon's entirely shut down. That is the crew. We can see since they have no ammo that all of the cannon models are dead. This other cannon's down to half firing capacity, and 1 is completely untouched. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin for the red team are pushed off the map. For the green team, they're still here and going strong. Better cast onto the Peasant Long Spearmen from Zbreftek. 2 cannons are fully down. The red team has realized that their ranged capacity is going down. They need something to deal with all these Crane Gunners. So we have a long con Jade Lancer going out and around to get near them. This is fine. Green team's going to send a Jade Lancer up the middle, but with 90 armor Jade Warrior Crossman and only 1 cannon left alive, outgunned 4-1, it's a pretty good trade to just sacrifice your own backline for the enemy backline when the enemy backline's currently kicking your ass. More Jade Lancers get freed up as they win the cavalry fight on the sides. They can get a rear charge and some more crossmen, do some good stuff over there. Meanwhile, the Dragon-Blooded Shugi Lord of Yin is just trying to stop these Crane Gunners for a hot second. Crane Gunners, like Warlock Jezzails, are extremely squishy. Extremely squishy, so we'll see Jade Lancers just rock through these guys, no problem at all. But Zhao Ming is not having any of it. He is going to chase off this Lord. So far, Green Team using their superior combat lord and then their mid-ranged assets are currently winning out against the red team's long-range assets and slightly better frontline. The red team has more of a frontline. I don't know if better is the right word. Anyway. Both teams' cavalry have mucked up the back, but red was actually able to stabilize. This cannon's still up and firing, so is this other crossman, and an entire Jade Lancer was lost for that. Meanwhile, the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, what is left of them, is going to dive in and again try to take care of those crossbows, but the cannon is still up, the cannon is still firing. And 3 of our Crane Gunners have suffered irreparable damage. 11 models, 2 models, 5 models. 2 models and negative 26 leadership. Huh, you think they would shatter at 2 models, but okay. So Crane Gunners are all gone. All gone, effectively. Green team has no ranged capacity left. Their cavalry is extremely wounded. Their infantry It's Cathay versus Cathay. Their infantry's just vibing. So it's all in Zhao Ming now, honestly. For the red team, if they can bail out some of these rather healthy crossmen, that could be a solid carry. And they're going to need to keep their lord safe, but their cavalry is also quite dead, though their front line's fine. So the red team actually has a lot more going for it right now. Front line's healthier, back line's healthier. Cav is about equal. A little bit of fast forward as we figure some stuff out. Front lines just grind. Jade Warriors and the Righteous Lance of Wei Jin are chasing off any remnants of the front line they routed once. This cannon is still online, by the way. I don't know if it's a misplay by the green player or a really good play from the red player. Maybe a little bit of both. That cannon can't be allowed to fire for too much longer. Somehow these Righteous Lances are back because, like, Warhammer 3 in general has a problem with leadership, but Cathay also has a problem with leadership of just, like, nothing seems to break anymore, dude. Nothing. Zhao Ming is getting shot at point-blank range by the cannons, and he's now getting surrounded by spearmen. They've currently just sacrificed his Jade Warrior crossmen, more content to just leave Zhao Ming to his fate. But a nasty rear charge from the last remnants of these Jade Lancers. Now they'll get met with peasant long spearmen, they'll get dragged to the dirt, but that does stop the cannon from firing for a little bit. Both sides are trading breath attacks. Balance of power is still about dead even 6 minutes into this game. This Jade Lancer's still chasing off some stuff. How are we doing? All crane gunners are officially deadsies. Forever. Cannon crew is back near their mounts and they have ammo, which means they're fine, but they have not managed to actually remount just yet, and more Jade Lancers threaten to stop them, but then they consider against it. Cannon crew is moving, so you have to think they get back online soon. Don't know why they aren't yet. How are we doing on the front line count? It's looking a little bad for green, front line wise. But you also have to think what's going to stop Zhao Ming. Like, realistically, your crossmen are compromised or routing right now. Cannon's currently getting terror-routed off, so I don't know what can kill Zhao Ming. He would have to make a pretty big mistake to die. So I think Zhao Ming is unironically going to carry this whole game. He's flying around just trying to cycle route stuff, but Cathay is currently holding some peasant long spearmen near these guys, so it does raise their leadership quite a bit. Jade Lancers are going to flank in, double break. Cannon somehow hanging on, but they're the easiest out of those three things to kill. And Jade Lancers plus Zhao Ming are trying to duel that lady before she flies away. Zhao Ming's back to helping out the front line a little bit. Doing his best. Doing his best. Righteous Lances are also doing their best. Cannon crew, it comes back. Then it routes because of Righteous Lances. Goodbye. Green team is up. They're up on the balance power for the first time in a while. Another breath attack spell will take out some Jade Warriors and Halberds. Jade Lancers charge into Jade Warriors with Halberds, which is a big mistake, and then the Shugi Lord gets a rear charge onto the Righteous Lancers of Wei Jin. All of a sudden, the front line for green entirely breaks, all at the same time, leaving just Zhao Ming fighting, while this Caster Lord is able to chase off some stuff. For red team, another rally from the cannon. This cannon crew, good god. It says it has 4 models, but it only actually has 2. Is going to turn and probably start firing at Zhao Ming again. Other than that, we have a bunch of very wounded infantry. Doesn't seem like you're going to do too much. Righteous Lances are back, then they're gone. Cannon's trying to shoot at Zhao Ming. It's going to get a little bit of pokes, but Cathay is forming into one final blob. Cannon is giving everybody harmony bonuses. So even these peasant long spearmen have 23 leadership while that low of health, just because of harmony. These Jade Warriors, yeah, 51 leadership, they're pretty good. Priority for the green team is to get rid of the one ranged unit. That'll immediately lower all the stats of the box super, super hard, and then they'll be okay. Zhao Ming's currently fighting in Jade Warrior's Halberds. He needs to be careful about that. That could do some damage if he's stuck, but it looks like he's still just able to freely move however he wants to in his dragon form. Shugi Lord of Yang, I can't tell if she's flying or not, but it looks like she's on the ground now, and Jade Warriors with Halberds are all closing in. Green has a bit of a second wind with some Jade Warriors coming back, but they're not really going to do that much. They don't have anything to give them a harmony bonus, so they're not going to achieve anything. Couple terror routes coming in from Zhao Ming. Balance power still in green's favor, but it is creeping back towards the middle as more and more green things route. The Righteous Lance of Wei Jin are shattered. They're done. They're finally leaving this horrible place. Cannons are back, baby! And they're going to fire at Zhao Ming at close range like they have been doing most of the game. Jade Warriors with Halberds are still stabbing this guy down. He's taking a good amount of damage. This isn't Miao Ying. She doesn't really have... Well, she has healing. He doesn't. And yeah. Zhao's surrounded. He's getting stabbed. He's taking a lot of damage. Down to 4,000. More stabs, tries to get to the cannon crew. They are going to try to run away, but their last cannon model is destroyed, and then they are routed off. Harmony bonuses are about to fade. Not as long as they follow the cannon crew off the map. Dragonblade Shugi Lord gets one charge attack, then Zhao Ming is back into the halberds fighting. Bounce power turns against him. We're 15 minutes into the game. That's a Cathay mirror for you. Turns out heavy armor, high leadership, not a lot of kill potential across an entire front line can take a bit. Zhao Ming's getting real low. He's down to 2,000 HP. Dives back in. He has less HP than the Shugi Lord at this point. The only unit here with actually good leadership at the moment is these halberds, which is, you know, Zhao Ming's least favorite thing to be fighting, but still. Everything else could rout. Bounce powers heavily against the green team. He's down to 1,500 value. Not value. Damage left on him. Does a little bit of a serpent roll. Good for you, Zhao Ming. Good for you. You get yours. More Jade Warriors are terror routing. Can he really grind it out? I wonder if he has any final trans left. Or a breath attack or anything. I assume he would have used it by now if he had a breath attack, but magic could definitely help in this situation. Doing his best to cycle charge, keeps trying to attack something, just a different target every time so he can keep charging around. He gets a huge slice out of that Shugi Lord. Still really bad balance power for him as he barely clings to life. She's down to less health than him again. And he got a lot of nice hits in a row. That one not as much. Is going to terror out off another Jade Warrior, but terror outs don't count as normal routes, so it can come back infinite times from that as long as it doesn't actually break. Gets a nice charge attack. He's going to try and chase off the one that's outside the blob so he can get another charge attack. Boop, boop. Rolls around. Those are some snaky animations. Shugi Lord lands again. I think she takes another hit to the face. I'm not sure if she was already at 800, but it looks lower for her. 900 for Zhao. He's beneath 1,000. But he terror outs off the lady. This is key. So he terror outs off the lady. He natural routes that. Terror outs off the halberds. Naturally routes off that who shatters. This is a terror out, remember. These guys will actually come back in just a second. A natural route from the Jade Warriors. And Zhao Ming's at 884. He's down on the balance of power. And then it was just the last second, but that Jade Warrior up there actually terror routed. That's why its flag went white. So it terror routed. So Zhao Ming just won while behind on the balance of power because technically at that moment in time, everything was running away. That or the red player gave up, but if they did, that was a crazy time to give up because you definitely still had a shot. I really think it was the fact that everything was technically routing at once, which is funny. Zhao Ming was not winning that grind fight. Not at all. If that halberd had been able to come back from its terror route, it probably would have finished him off. Righteous Lance of Wei Jin, even after getting nuked for Zhao at the very start, got a 1k value. 1,200 on that Jade Lancer. The other one got murdered. Zhao Ming did great. Crane Gunners did pretty well, actually. And then Jade Warriors, none of them quite paid for themselves, but they did alright. Shugi Lord of Yang did fine. I think Yin might be better against... In the Cathay mirror, the Towns of Night with its armor-piercing values is really good compared to the Breath Attack. Breath Attack's good against peasants, but that's it. So, I don't know. I used to be a big lover of the Breath Attack, but not recently. These Righteous Lances did not get anything done. They got Final Trans and then shot by Crane Gunners, so rest in peace. Rest in peace, lads. Cannons did very, very well. Crossmen did okay. Jade Warriors did okay. That Jade Warrior Halberd that got to fight Zhao Ming in the late game did incredibly well. Peasant Long Spears did alright. And then Jade Lancers, same as the other side. One did very, very well. The other one did not. So, GG's. It was actually pretty interesting mirror. Zhao Ming trying to carry, while the crossbowmen and cannons tried to carry the other side. Oh, Cathay mirrors. You could be interesting if Cathay had better cavalry and squishier front lines. Rawr.
Subscribe, yes, yes.